This video has been long requested, and even though it's a little bit weird doing this one because we're TikTok friends, let's get nostalgic over Kittie. I would just like to preface this video with two things. Number one, we know the algorithm is crushing the confidence of every creator on this app, so if you like this video and you like to see more like it, please like it, save it, and share it with your friends. And comment if you want. I like hearing your voice. And number two, I got all this information from the internet, and if it's wrong, I'm sorry. Very sorry, Kittie. I didn't use any weird Angel Fire sites this time, so hopefully most of it is right, but you know, what are you gonna do? Kittie was founded in London, Ontario by way of my favorite kind of teenage band origin story. In 1996, drummer Mercedes and guitarist Fallon met in gym class. Or gymnastics class, I'm not quite sure. From there, Morgan, Mercedes' sister, joined on lead vocals and Tanya rounded out the lineup on bass. When I was looking for a more in-depth explanation of the name Kittie, why they picked it, I came across the webzine Metal Maidens, which looks like a GeoCities website circa 1999, but has a copyright extending to 2022. And according to the article, they picked the name Kittie in order to make a kind of contradiction. Usually females are perceived as being cute, fragile, and feminine, like the name Kittie. The contradiction comes in when the listener hears what their music really is like, women playing metal. The band played their first official show in February of 1998 and recorded 2 demos in a local studio. They ended up signing up for Canadian Music Week in 1999. They had approached Jake Weiner of NG Records previously, and upon seeing them live, he signed them to NG Records. Because how could he not? They went into Emax Studios, and 9 days later, 9 days, their first studio album, Spit, was born. It was released in November 1999, but after NG was procured by Artemis Records, the album was given a wider re-release that following January. Spit peaked at number 79 on the Billboard 200, number 1 on the US Top Heat Seekers albums, and number 12 on the US Top Independent albums. It was certified gold in the US, and it peaked at 191 on the Billboard 200 year-end chart for 2000. Kerrang! Rated it one of the top 50 best albums for 2000, as well as put it on the 21 greatest nu metal albums of all time. This month, March 2023, Rolling Stone ranked the title track, Spit, number 82 on their 100 greatest heavy metal songs, again, of all time. The album was supported by 2 singles, Brackish and Charlotte. Brackish premiered on Much Music and was featured on heavy rotation on MTV. The band even performed it on Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Tonight are 4 teenage girls from London, Ontario, who are definitely not looking to become the next Britney Spears.
They released Charlotte as their second single, and this song is like a time machine for me. I was 14 when this album came out, and it was this weird, pivotal time in my life when I had to choose to sell my soul to the devil and become popular, or go eat lunch with the weirdos. Now, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I picked the weirdos. And you know who made that okay? Kittie. Also, Charlotte was one of the most played videos on MTV in July 2000, which during a time when music was saturated with Britney's and Christina's is pretty damn cool. And what did Kittie do after releasing this immensely successful album? Billboard even called Kittie the most successful female band in modern metal in 2001. They supported it by touring with Slipknot. Do you know how huge of a band Slipknot was, especially back then? Do you know what I was doing while Kittie was touring with Slipknot? I was trying to figure out what my ICQ Messenger font should be. And I'm only like 3 years younger than them. They were teenagers when this album came out. Teenagers. After the release of Spit, bassist Tanya left and Talina took her place. The band lost another founding member in August of 2001 with the departure of guitarist Fallon, and that same year, Kittie released their second album, Oracle, which peaked at number 57 on the Billboard Top 200 and number 3 on the Billboard US Independent Albums chart. What I Always Wanted, Pain, and the Pink Floyd cover Run Like Hell were the 3 singles off the album, with What I Always Wanted getting heavy airplay on Much Music and MTV. Following the release of Oracle, Talina left the band and bassist Jennifer joined in her place. In 2003, the band's issues with Artemis came to a head when Kittie and their manager Gareth Richardson sued the label over unpaid royalties and breaches of contract. They filed an amended suit that summer, looking to be released from their contract as well as seeking restitution and compensation for interference with the band's management and inadequate promotional support. When the band first filed their suit in the spring, an audit revealed that Artemis owed Kittie nearly $900,000 in royalties and other compensation. That's almost $1 million. Their amended complaint revealed that the label had tried to force the band to record a new album pretty much immediately after the release of Spit, while they were attempting to prepare for Ozfest in 2000. They also revealed that the label had interfered with their ability to tour internationally, among other interferences that resulted in Kittie losing out on at least $2 million for the band. The label had gone as far as attempting to persuade the band's agency to stop booking them on tours in order to deplete them financially and push them into recording the new album. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like this happens to female artists a lot more than it does to their male counterparts. Anyway, they ended up settling out of court in 2004, and in 2005, they finally parted ways with Artemis. While Oracle had been recorded with Morgan as their sole guitar player, Lisa had joined the band in 2004 and recorded their third album, Until the End, with the band. Until the End debuted at number 105 on the Billboard Top 200, and the video for Into the Darkness debuted on MTV2's Headbangers Ball Again. The following year, both Lisa and Jennifer left the band due to Artemis withholding financial obligations. That same year, Tara joined on guitar and Trish joined on bass. In 2006, Kittie released their Never Again EP on Rock Ridge Music before creating their own record label, X of Infamy, which they released their fourth studio album, Funeral for Yesterday, on. The album debuted at number 101 on the Billboard Top 200, with the lead single, Funeral for Yesterday, peaking at number 40 on Billboard's mainstream rock chart. 2008 saw the departure of Trish due to some health issues, as well as the unfortunate passing of Morgan and Mercedes' father, David, who had also been the band's manager throughout their career. The following year, Kittie signed with E! Music and released their fifth studio album, In the Black. It was the first album to feature the band's new bassist, Ivy, and also had this very cool cover. 2 singles were released in support of the album, Cutthroat and Sorrow I Know, with Cutthroat premiering on Headbangers Ball. It was also used on the Saw 6 and Diary of a Wimpy Kid Roderick Rules soundtracks. And when I tell you how much I love the juxtaposition of these two movies, Kittie spent 2010 touring Europe and North America before releasing their 6th studio album, I Failed You, in 2011. The album peaked at number 178 on the Billboard Top 200, and it had 2 singles off of it, We Are the Lamb and Empires Part 2. In February of 2012, Kittie announced that Ivy would be leaving the band and Trish would be returning. 2 years later, the band launched a crowdfunding campaign to raise funds for the production of a documentary in honor of their impending 20th anniversary. The campaign reached its goal in 8 hours. That's pretty impressive. In 2017, the band suffered another hugely unfortunate loss with the passing of Trish. That same year, they launched their documentary with a reunion concert that showcased 3 different lineup variations. They went on to release their documentary, Kittie, Origins Evolutions, on DVD the following year. Now, this is a DVD. In case you were born of an era that doesn't know what a house phone is, I thought that I should just show it to you. But you can also watch documentary on the tube of the U if you like. Over the next few years, the band expressed reluctance to continue with Kittie as it didn't feel right to move forward without Trish, understandably so. And in 2019, Morgan joined the band Carcass as their new lead singer. But then, as if some sort of post-pandemic miracle, it was announced that Kittie would be returning that fall for all 3 days of When We Were Young Fest, with Ivy joining them on bass. Kittie are slated to play the Sick New World and Louder Than Life festivals later this year, which I'm hoping means that they are not going anywhere soon. Right, Kittie? You're gonna, stick around a little bit longer? Because I feel like, especially in today's climate, the kids need you to remind them that it's okay to be a weirdo, especially when all of the elders are telling them it's not.